Hello, everybody. Welcome to another daily dose of gaming news and all that good stuff. And as always, I also publish on Rumble and on Patreon for extra support. Any kind of updates I usually go about on Twitter X. Um, Today, later, I will be able to publish another jusant episode. I still didn't get around any more demos for the moment, but if I do until Friday, I will try to publish that demo on Friday. Other than that, we got ongoing series, which is at this moment just jusant into a certain extent the gameplay demos. The rest of it is regarding live streams. When I can manage to do something on that side of things, I will announce something there. Other than that, we got completed gameplay series, the 4K, which are the most recent ones after the reboot of the channel after I left the country, and 1080p are the ones that are older and before the cutout of the pause, let's say, of the channel there. Other than that, let's go to the news. Got some interesting stuff there. Got a new J2 Cents video regarding the Nvidia driver stuff there. I covered yesterday that in the meantime it was released Hotfix, but still, with that said, it seems that it's a little bit difficult at this moment, at least at the time of the recording of this video, to find that hotfix per se. It goes about on the video itself. I will leave it to you to check it out. But it seems that the problems are solved, the ones that came about with the previous drivers, which is the 576.02. But yeah, hopefully hopefully it starts to iron out all the issues that NVIDIA users have been having. One of the things that I forgot to mention was the fact that even on editing software, the fact that you are rendering the videos through the GPU itself, it seems to crash the PCs in some instances. So that's not good. But yeah, other than that, got the black screens and all that jazz supposedly are fixed. But yeah, if there is any more updates, I will try to keep my tabs on it, even though I'm not an NVIDIA GPU user. But yeah, and again, don't forget when you install GPU drivers, the preferable way to go about is using the DDU software, or lack of that is to make a fresh install. So we can the install can try to erase all the settings that might be bugged out or something like that, and reinstall fresh out of the gate there. Other thing that I did do, but I completely forgot to put it here, is I did yesterday manage to buy Lords of the Fallen, the 2023. I was convinced. I was convinced enough that is something that I can vote with my wallet with confidence regarding that game. I didn't put anything here, but I did manage to purchase the game there. It's on sale, and I completely forgot, now that I'm recording, I completely forgot to put it here on the gaming deals side of things. But yeah, I voted with my wallet. The fact that they were listening to player feedback and they acted upon it. And again, it's they all of this version 2.0, they really did reach new heights in terms of sales, which is good to see. But yeah, other than that, I think that's it. In terms of industry, we might see some price increases on motherboards, especially from the bigger vendors from ASUS, Gigabyte, and MSI. Um, Again, this comes about with a lot of reasons, but I think that what we'll try to do, if they announce anything officially, I think the excuse is going to be the tariff war that is going about between especially USA and China. Even though at this moment in time, the PC components and I think smartphones and a lot of electronics at this moment are exempt. They got an exemption of 90 days, if not mistaken. Again, I'm not very on the inside of how those things work, but it seems that after that, if this thing continues to go on, there might be a justification for them to increase the prices again. When I think the simplest term to put it is a tariff is basically a tax on the consumer, but it's not a direct tax, but nevertheless, supposedly it's a tax per se for the companies themselves when they import stuff from other countries. But again, no company will eat that cost of the tariff. It will always pass that cost of the tariff to the consumer. And basically, that's why it is a tax on the consumer itself at the end of the day, because the consumer will always pay that cost of the tariff by itself. It's going to be one of the justifications. There is some kind of justification that I can understand with these new technologies, with the PCI Express stuff there, the USB 4 stuff there, but I don't think it can justify huge amounts of costs. I think one of the bigger ones might be the materials themselves. Might be a little bit costly. I think the higher grade copper that is used on the circuitry surged in price lately. So that's might be a justification for that, because in terms of the adoption of the new technologies that they are coming about, I don't think USB 4 is something that is going to be hugely expensive to implement, given that usually, to a certain extent, it starts by being implemented on the high end products and then usually trickles down throughout time to lower end products. If the adoption seems to be good. But yeah, again, there is a lot of ifs and buts regarding the increase, but probably we will see an increase regardless if the tariffs are resolved, this tariff situation is resolved or not, because they can, to a certain extent, justify the increase in price from different fronts, let's say. I don't think there is a need to enter in panic mode regarding this. Again, I've been building PCs for at least 20 years. And for myself, I have the philosophy when choosing certain components to have, for example, being that the motherboard is kind of the spine and to a certain degree the heart of the system itself. I usually tend to pick a motherboard that I will have kind of a guarantee that will last me for the longest time possible, more than any kind of CPU change or, of course, any kind of GPU and even memory stuff that might be involved while upgrading the system. Motherboard for me usually it's the main thing that I worry a lot when I pick this component. And with that said, I usually tend to not to be to cut too much on the price in terms of selection. I prefer to pay a little bit extra, but knowing that I have good component there that can last some interchanges between CPUs and memory RAM. And with that said, usually lately, at least the most recommended system is going to be AMD, given that they usually from AM4 that is still today to a certain extent supported, even with recently last year with new CPUs. Again, I have a AM5 system. Even this motherboard can handle at the time of buying upcoming CPUs. Again, supposedly, again, I didn't test it, but it can handle even 9800X3D without any kind of issues. Can I think it can be upgraded with to tolerate higher speed memories, so RAM timings and the such there can be tolerated and be compatible with. And of course, the GPU is a GPU. In the foreseeable future, the fact that I think it's still a PCI Express 4 or 5, but it doesn't matter because the bandwidth limits on that it will still hold at least a little 5 years. But yeah, that's why I usually when I pick a motherboard, I usually try to pick the best possible one. Depending on the price, I don't go top tier, but I choose one that it's reasonable price, but it has all the essential features. I don't get lost too much on the uh, queue release features that, for example, ASUS has, or any kind of a lot of these shenanigans that usually happen here. Just pick something that it's very good and provided the essentials and it's priced reasonably, and it can handle future upgrades. For example, I have to always have a good amount of USB ports on the back, good support for front end connections for the case there. Yeah, usually it's how I go about and choose my motherboard. But yeah, we'll be seeing for sure some price increases on this front. But yeah, this is what I got here from again from hardware. And lastly, we got again Nvidia GPUs continue to bring a lot of issues at this moment. Again, this cannot be blamed directly from Nvidia, but again, it's Nvidia GPUs that are put in with the kind of new thermal gel solution that usually it's supposedly used on server grade as a thermal conductive gel instead of the thermal pads that usually go on the memory stuff there. Funny enough, or interestingly enough, this case occurred on the 5080 GPU, and it was vertical mounted, but that doesn't justify the fact that there's some leaking gel. Again, it's called gel, but it's not really a gel. It's something that it's not a sticker like a pad per se. And even with this leakage, supposedly, if it leaks to the board, there shouldn't be any problem, supposedly, because it's not conductive electrically. But it can cause some issues, especially, I don't know, if it leaks into the PCI Express stuff there slot. But yeah, this is not good. This is not supposed to happen, regardless. And the fact that there is this situation happening, you can see a little bit of the thing leaking. Uh, I think the most dangerous thing that can happen here is the fact that it's leaking out, and probably it will lose contact between the two surfaces, like the memory controllers in this case, and the cooler itself, and with that, serious situations might occur there. But yeah, it continues the problems with the 50 series there at this moment in time. In terms of games, we got this Steel Seed review from WCCF Tech. I think I saw a review, like a headline from IGN, saying that was again. I don't trust those sites anymore regarding reviews. Usually, I go the other way around. If they say it's a bad game, probably it's a good game. And if they get a 7 or 8 out of 10, usually it's because it's not a very good game. And if they get a perfect score, usually it's because it's a shit show of a game, almost to the default to a certain degree. But again, this game I think I covered here and there sporadically, and it seems kind of a mix between some stealth tactics or mechanics here and some combat stuff there. It seems an okay game. It doesn't try to innovate in any sense, and I think what the highlight here is kind of the story, which is supposedly has an interesting story and setting. Supposedly the world design is pretty good, so the levels seem pretty good design. Also, it got some transversal challenges that sometimes feel like puzzles, which is always good. And supposedly has a solid stealth mechanic, which seems that this game is trying to aim for. The combat is not very depth, let's say, and repetition doesn't take long to set in, and the lack of originality and general depth can be a turn off for some people. But then again, yeah, it seems an okay game. I will have to see if I can find afterwards more reviews to have a better sense of this game. But I remember seeing trailers for this game. Seemed okay at the time. Nothing to write home about, but nothing to put it aside. Again, might seem an interesting game for some, but the real main course here is Clair Obscur Expedition 43. I've been very interested about this game since I first saw the videos of this game a few months ago, and it seems to be a home run for this developer. I think it only had like 50 people working on this game. It's a French developer, and it seems to hit the high note in almost everything. I think the weakest part here is replayability, given this is very story heavy RPG, turn-based RPG, sorry. But everything else, from voice acting to the sound effects to graphic quality, basically no bugs, no crashes. At least from Fextralife, he didn't get any kind. He only had one bug, which he jumped around a place and got stuck, and after reloading, he went about it. He said he had no crashes. The game seemed pretty smooth. So even though I think this is an Unreal Engine game, it seemed pretty smooth. And yeah, exploration is always it seems very good. And the highlight here mainly is the story and setting. Gameplay seems pretty interesting, turn-based mechanics with some real-time stuff there, like parrying and dodging or jumping or something like that to avoid attacks there. I said, audiovisual and design seem pretty excellent. Replayability and game length is the weakest part, let's say, and the price point, which is pretty good. I think it's $50, if not mistaken. And at this time, they have a launch early bird kind of a discount of 10%, if not mistaken. Yeah, this one seems to be a banger. And I managed to check out other reviews, and they are basically on par with the Fextralife here. It's excellent game, turn-based story RPG. Again, pretty good. So I think this is one for to keep a track and maybe again, this is being a full year of a lot of good games. But yeah, this one seems to be almost a contender, at least from eyes of Extra Life, a contender for Game of the Year, which it tells a lot there. Um, then we got yesterday, the rumors were true that after the stream of the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered finished, by the end of the, the event, they said that it was available now. Again, I didn't watch this. I mentioned this a couple of times. I missed the boat on this game, the original one, so it doesn't tell me a lot. I don't know how good this game was at the time that it was played. It was something that was on the back burner, something that I heard there that was very good, but I never tried anything from this game. Again, I completely missed the boat on this one, unfortunately. But yeah, again, try not to jump the shark here too much. It got yesterday a lot of peak concurrent players of around 150K, if not mistaken, give or take, for a game that just was announced and launched out of nowhere. Even though there were some rumors burning in the background, and some people were expecting to see about this. Interesting thing is the game runs on Unreal Engine 5. It was remade like this, but the underlying logic still runs on the Game Brio engine, which is the original game engine. So I don't think in terms of routines and the such, there's going to be going to notice any kind of changes there. There has been some hub regarding the fact that they went for the body type 1 and 2 in this game, even though the character customization seems pretty good and improved also. And I saw also that Gamers Nexus, no, sorry. Nexus Mod, sorry, it's got almost the same name. Nexus Mod did remove a mod that was they changed on the character's customization from putting female and male body types instead of type 1 and type 2, and they removed that again. Since a couple of years now, I don't enjoy the fact that Nexus mod is being unless it is something explicit like pornography or something like that. I can understand some blocking, but they are not even blocking things like that. But the fact that they are throwing out that they will not tolerate certain mods, in a sense, there is something that benign has changing between type 1, type 2 to male and female. They are removing mods like this. This makes a statement that, again, I used Nexus mod a lot of times for a lot of years, and I'm to a certain degree I'm avoiding using that site because again, if you just ban mods out of nowhere like this, I don't see the point of continuing using your services because again, if, you never know what kind of mods they are going to permit or to prohibit. in those in their servers there. But yeah, continue with this Oblivion remake stuff there, or remastered. This is considered a remaster, not a remake. I think a little bit the fact that they still consider this a remaster is the fact that a lot of the logic runs still on the original game there. But yeah, supposedly HUD menu, Mac reworks, improved UI for system like Persuasion, Clairvoyance, and more, modification to leveling, encumbrance, non-combat perks, and other mechanics. Supposedly improve enemy scaling, enhance accessibility feature, additional autosaves, revised first and third person cameras, and improve combat feedback and controller support. Again, the usual modern stuff there that is being introduced throughout the year since this game was launched. What I don't like here also is the adoption of having different editions. We got back the horse armor stuff here. The regular edition is $50, which is I think a decent price. But I think this should only have like a regular edition and bring everything from the DLCs and the extra stuff should be included in the base price. But they went about it and also introduced the deluxe edition, which then can introduce more quests. So basically, they are hitting through a paywall to make it seem a full game, even though it's only $60 only. It's $60 with this deluxe edition that brings more the horse armor sets and more armors and weapons and the such, and they put also other quests for to obtain certain items there. Again, I don't like this. Given that this is a remaster, I don't see the justification to put extra editions. I think you should be again, might as well put just one edition at $60 and deliver everything in a full price than to try and do this kind of shenanigans, because it can be a little bit confusing for people that want to buy something like this and that they thought they will get access to something that they are not having, that they have to buy spend extra $10. Again, I don't think this is the way to go about, especially on the remasters or remakes. I think if you're doing something like this for older games, you just put a single package, everything included. Um, there can be a debate if you're going to deliver as a full price game or if you can do it a little bit cheaper. Again, I think they can do it a little bit cheaper, like $50 here, and it can include everything there. Than to try and go about the shenanigans that Bethesda has been doing, and especially to a certain degree Xbox in terms of under their publishing arm, what they're trying to do there. Even though this game supposedly comes on Xbox Game Pass, if not mistaken. But yeah, we got that. And again, because it's a Unreal Engine game, the PC requirements might be a little bit more heavy than usual. Again, the recommended ones, I will assume, because the hardware here, I will assume this is 1080p 60, most likely. Again, Ryzen 5 3600X or a Core i5 10 600K, 32 gigabytes of RAM, which is a little bit on the limits here of what usual people buy. Then in terms of GPU, we got a 6800 XT or a 2080 from Nvidia. Again, a lot of space here, 120 gigabytes of space available, but it's kind of the usual stuff for normal games. But yeah, this again, not excited because again, I missed the boat on this game, so I don't have like fond memories or any kind of memories of playing this game. So doesn't say too much for me. And the fact that we got some little things here and there, especially on the price scheme. I'm again, I will have to wait for full blown reviews of people playing this game. Again, there was no embargo review. This game was cold launched, let's say. I will wait for reviews to have a better sense of what this game has to offer more than the original, and if there is any kind of justification for the reason of the deluxe edition there. But yeah, regarding Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered, this is what I got. Again, nothing to write home about. But again, I will assume a lot of people that played the original one throughout the years, they were pretty excited, given yesterday it reached around 150K concurrent players on Steam alone. And lastly, we got this little game here, Top Hat Studios. They announced a lot of stuff, but the only thing that caught my eye here, mainly because of how the presentation of this one, is MOTORSLICE. It seems kind of a mix between parkour with some combat stuff there. The girl itself has a chainsaw that it can be used, I think, for the parkour stuff and, of course, for the combat. A lot of puzzling around here, and the art style seems relatively interesting. And again, inspired by Prince of Persia, which had his own kind of parkour system to a certain degree. But yeah, very interesting. I recommend you watch the trailer. I will put it on my wish list so I can keep tabs on this game. The game supposedly is going to be launched or by the end of this year or early next year. So we still have ways to go there, but it's something that I will try to keep tabs on this game because it seems interesting. But yeah, regarding news, this is what I got. Let's wrap up here with some gaming deals. We got Plague Tale Innocence and Plague Tale, oh my god, the other one, Requiem. I bought this game on the sale, on the last sale that it happened. I still need to play this game so I can see if it's worth buying the second one. And at this point in time, the first one is 80% off, or you can buy a bundle, both of them 65% off. Or in the case of Plague Tale Requiem, you can have it for 65% off. We got then Clair Obscur Expedition 43. Again, this game is not officially launched. It was launched today, but it has a 10% off as a special promotion of launch. I'm really tempted to buy this game. But again, I already bought Lords of the Fallen, and I still a lot of games on my backlog. It's getting a compounding problem for me. But yeah, this game is very interesting, and yeah. Again, the deluxe edition doesn't offer anything more in terms of content than the base edition. It only has some skins here and there. Basically, that's it. Some custom outfits, basically. But yeah, it's one of those that it start off with 10% off discount. It's not the fact that it's a low quality game. It's because again, they are. I think they are first time developer here launching a game, if not mistaken. So usually this happens here. But yeah, excellent game from all it seems. Then you got Control. Again, I do recommend this game, and I do recommend Ultimate Edition. Again, it's 70% off. Again, the DLC, the content DLC for this game is well worth it. It adds more to the story. Very Lynchian, David Lynch kind of a storytelling here. I did enjoy very much Control and what it tries to do, and even the combat is pretty solid there. We got Crypt Custodian. Again, I never played this game, but it's one of those that I really enjoyed. The smaller games here. Very positive feedback from everybody. 30% off, very cheap, and it's one of those games that I think it has a nice story to it. We got also Dredge, 50% off. Again, this is one of those that I will eventually buy and try it out. We got Forever Skies again. Recently came out of early access. It's got positive feedback, a little bit mixed on the most recent ones, but again, around 70-ish% in terms of the positive feedback here. 20% off after launching, and again, I think it's well worth it if you like crafting and some survival mechanics. Got some combat there also. I think it has an interesting premise, and it can be also played in co-op. Then you got Check and Alliance free, 50% off. Usually, it's when it goes on sale, it's 50%, which is always good to see. Again, if you like turn-based combat and some squad management, and I think it's got some interesting story there. But yeah, 50% off. We got also Jusant. Again, I'm publishing this series, but I can fully recommend it. Already finished up playing the game, especially at this price point, 55% off. Again, if you're curious about this game, you can check out the first episode. It was not launched that time ago, long time ago, and I do recommend this game. That's for sure. Then we got Liza P again on sale, 40% off. Again, it's one of those. Again, it's on my back burner for me to buy one of these days and try it out. We got also Planet of Lana, another game that I did a gaming series on, and I do recommend, especially at this price point, which is at this moment 55% off. If you're curious about this game, you can check out my first couple episodes to have an idea what this game is all about. We got Prey, same thing here. Stamp of approval from my part. Even the digital deluxe edition, even though I only claim for free on Epic Game Store the base version, the Moon Crash DLC seems very interesting with some roguelike elements there in playing the game. This is an excellent game, very underrated. It's very in line. It's from the same guys that brought Dishonored, so it's got very familiar gameplay mechanics there, and the story is very interesting on how they approach it. And again, 90% off. Can check out the first episode to have an idea how this game is all about. And then last we got Returnal, one of those games that I've kind of enjoy, which because of it has a lot of roguelike elements to it. But yeah, it's one of those that it's had positive reviews. I think they patched out the issues that they had on the launch of the game, which was mainly about PC performance in terms of optimization. I think that was patched out eventually, and the story is very interesting on this game itself. And at this moment in time, 50% off. But yeah, I'll wrap up here for today with a plug my Patreon as usual for extra support. This extra support is more in line for me to try and get around getting a better storage solution, so I can have backups of the stuff that I do for my clients, and of course some extra space for the videos that I do for the channel. And with all that said, I hope you have a wonderful day. I will see you in the next one. So until then, Kunamy Master out.